15% of the EVA, pet care 15% of the EVA, so the VAT, 15% for public transport, and 15% for the gyms. Hello, welcome to Crypto Insights, where we teach you about crypto. Well, this video is not going to be really about crypto, but it's going to be about E-fatura, which is a deduction that you can all obtain in Portugal. It's a tax deduction. And I decided to make this video because it seems like most of my clients are not aware of this, and this can deduct a couple of €100 from your tax reports. So I think it's very valuable to know. So I wrote a document that is visible on my website, cryptotaxesportugal.com. You go to Documents, you go to E-fatura. And here I basically explain what is E-fatura. So what is E-fatura? E-fatura is an application launched to assist the online registration of invoices in Portugal. The Portuguese government introduced this system to control the VAT transactions. Instead of setting up a department to check these transactions, they leave part of the responsibility with the Portuguese residents. For adding the NIF number to an invoice, the residents receive a deduction of their annual income taxes. The E-fatura system links the invoice from the supplier to your personal page, connected by the NIF number. Due to the registration of the invoice, the state can control the incoming and outgoing VAT payments. How do you benefit from E-fatura? For adding your NIF number to the invoice, you will receive a deduction on your annual income taxes, IRS. These deductions will be explained in the article below. How do I use E-fatura for purchases? As of the 1st of January 2016, the cashier is obliged to ask each customer if they would like their personal NIF number on the invoice. This counts for all stores in Portugal, so not only supermarket, literally all stores, all restaurants. The cashiers are obliged to ask, but you are not obliged to give. It is your responsibility to check if the NIF number was correct insertly on the invoice. So whenever the cashier or the restaurant employee is giving you the invoice, you always have to check if your NIF is correct and if it's on the invoice. If your NIF number isn't included, it usually states consumidor final, translated to English, end consumer. So most restaurants are using this to avoid taxes. They just put end consumer, and this way the government can't really check if the invoice goes in the system or not. If you're paying by card, it is already through the system, but you will see a lot of restaurants say multibanco is not working. Multibanco is working, they just try to get cash and therefore they don't have to register all the invoices. This is a common, let's say, scam. So how does the website work? Make sure you have your NIF number and your senha de accesso, so your password with you. This is the fiscal number of Portugal and the password to access your fiscal number through the Portuguese website, either Portal das Finanças or E-fatura. You can go to the link here below. You have to log in with your credentials, and when you're logged into the website, you can see the following deductions. I won't log in myself because then you can see all my my personal information. Plus, it's also illegal by YouTube to show your personal information and to log in with a login and a password. So you have general expenses. General expenses are supermarkets and everything that is outside of the current categories. So it's 35% of the expenses will be deductible until the maximum of €250. With other words, if you declared €750, 35%, you already reached your max. So there is no really a need to keep asking your NIF number on the invoices if you're above €750, at least not for tax deductions. So health expenses are deductible for 15%, up to €1,000. So if you have a lot of health expenses, that is mostly not really a good thing, but most of them are deductible. Then we have education expenses, 20% of the education expenses, including books. So not only studying something, but also the books which are used to study. The maximum for this category is 800. Then you have rent. So the rent of your house, your property, or your apartment, you can deduct 15% until a maximum of 502. This is very common in Portugal. It's very hard to find either a room or an apartment where you get a legal contract. The reason is they have to pay taxes. And the government is pushing you to request this with a NIF number so you can deduct it from your taxes. Also, the mortgage payments, but only mortgages that were the latest date you could deduct your mortgages was a mortgage that you would have started before 2011. Then there's also elderly care, 25% until €403.75. So these are all the total amounts. Then you have car reparations, so only repairs. You can also have a subscription to a car company like ACP, but the subscription itself, that's not deductible, only the repairs. Then you also have motor reparations, which is 15% of the invoiced IVA, so not the total amount. The same counts for the car repairs. It's only 15% of the IVA, so 15% of the IVA that was invoiced to you. And then you also have restaurant and hotels. Then you also have hairdressers, 15% of the IVA, pet care, 15% of the IVA, so the VAT, 15% for public transport, and 15% for the gyms. You're obliged to save the paper invoice that you would like to deduct for up to 4 years. So this, you're obliged to do this by law, but to be very honest, I also don't really save all my invoices. If you have any further questions, you can obviously always reach out to me. So that's mostly it. Try to go to the website, log in, use your NIF number and your password. You will see that there's some invoices that need some extra care. You have to click on the complementary invoices. It's on the top of the page. It's mostly shown in yellow. And there you have to see in what category the invoice belongs. Why is that there? If you go to the supermarket, you can also buy medicine there. So if you go to the supermarket, from the invoice itself, they don't know if there's any medical expenses in the general expenses. So therefore, every year you always have to go through your invoices and see which ones haven't been able to be put in a certain box. So this is the end of this video. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Share it also with your friends because you're able to help them on deducting some taxes of their total bill. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.